So, I managed to get around to watching this. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, I did announce that I was walking around and found this for $5, and considering it's Halloween, I figured, what the hell? Everybody should go through torture every now and again, so I decided to pick this one up and just kind of review it. This was, for those of you that don't know, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was originally a movie, and it's a movie I actually haven't seen in a very, 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 very long time, so watching this, my memory was a bit hazy. So there were some things I questioned in the show, but I had to look up afterwards just for this review so I knew I wouldn't get anything wrong. But this is actually a series that does air, or whenever it can, around Teen Titans Go on Cartoon Network. I'm doing this review outside, by the way, right outside my apartment complex, because the weather feels amazing out here. So, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs did a Halloween special. It was this is a two-part, well, it's not a two-part, but it's a full 22 minutes, but only the first 11 minutes is the quote-unquote Halloween special. The 11-minute episode that follows after that is still, like, a Halloween theme, kind of, because it's about, like, a Frankenstein monster, but it's not really, like, a Halloween, like, takes place on Halloween special. So the first episode, I don't know if it has a title on the back of here. It doesn't. But the first episode on here is basically Flint and what's her name? I know his name is Flint, but I don't remember her. I think her name is Sam or something, or Mary or something. I don't remember. But basically they're going around and they're trick-or-treating. This is one of the things that kind of had me like, what the hell? Like, why are they doing this? Because in the movie, I remember them being much older. Like, why are you trick-or-treating if you're so old? But I went and looked it up, and apparently this series takes place when they're teenagers, because in the movie they were in their late 20s. But this series takes place when they're, like, teenagers. But I could have, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been so long since I've seen the movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they meet for the first time in the movie? So how are they teenagers now, but yet now they know each other and are hanging out? Anyways, so they're trick-or-treating, basically every house they go to, they can't find any candy because the mayor of the whole city has stolen all the candy, because this is such a stupid backstory. Because apparently when the mayor was a kid, he said, "I always had a lot of candy, but I never had all of the candy, so I've always been sad and upset about that." And I'm like, well, you could that's just so dumb, because you can't even own all the candy to begin with. And it's just stupid. Like, it's just really stupid. And anyway, so basically the mayor hosts this thing of like, oh, well, I have candy, because everywhere they go, everywhere they trick-or-treat, like, no one's giving them candy. Like, nobody has candy. They're all giving them apples or other stupid shit. No one gives them any treats. But the mayor announces on TV, like, oh, I have candy, but if you want it, you got to go to my haunted house and come get some. And so basically they all go to his haunted house to see if they can get candy. And like I said, this is really fucking stupid. They all go to his house to get candy, and he sets up all these traps for them, and he even hires like 3 ghosts. Here are the ghosts right here. Originally they're like in like costume of ghosts, like ghosts being in ghost costume. Like, it's really weird. But he hired them originally because they were supposed to be actors, but apparently they're like real ghosts, but he doesn't find that out until later on in the special. And they put on these outfits, and when they have the outfits on, they're retards. They're like the Three Stooges, basically. Like, they're really stupid ghosts and pull stupid pranks. There was one joke in here I thought was really funny. It was because he's trying to find out all their deepest, darkest fears, and the son of the mayor is actually part of their group when they go to the little thing to go inside of the haunted mansion or whatever. And the son is like, he always finds out everyone's deepest, darkest fears. And there's this cameraman guy, and he's like, "You'll never find out my deepest, darkest fear." And then, like, his video ends up going on a loop, and it keeps going through, like, the shitty, like, star transition. And he's like, "Oh no, it's the star transition, one of the laziest transitions I've ever seen. It's my one true fear." Like, that actually got me, because that is, like, a really just a shitty, like, transition. I laughed at that one. But Yeah, they keep on going through little by little. He keeps scaring off people from the group, and until eventually, like, these 3 ghosts end up revealing themselves as being real ghosts, and they end up wanting to take his candy too. But I always thought this was dumb. It's like, if the mayor didn't want any of the kids to get any of his candy, or even anything, why did he even throw this event for people to go and try and get his candy, if he didn't want anybody to get his candy? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you want to keep all this candy for yourself, and you want to be selfish and have all this candy, that's fine, but why are you going to throw this event where they can come and get your candy, if all you're going to do is try to make sure that they don't get any, and like, when they do get some, like, you're all like, no, they can't have any. Then why the fuck did you even throw this event where people can get candy then? Like, why didn't you not just take all the candy and then never say anything? Like, that was just stupid. But the episode basically ends with, basically, she uses this bag right here. It's got like a suction cup on it, and she sucks up all the candy, and she sucks up these ghosts, and she sucks up the mayor guy too, who for some reason turns into a werewolf at the full moon for some reason. Like, that's not really explained. And she sucks them all up into that bag, and she's like, I'll only let you out, but you have to let us share your candy. And so they say, fine, I'll share my candy. And she ends up making this thing blow up, and it spreads all the candy around to everybody in this city, and that's how the special ends. Like, it's got a really stupid plot. Some of the writing is okay. Like, some of the jokes are actually, they're not bad. It's this special, at least this episode, was harmless, I think, for little kids. But then you get to the second half of the episode, which it actually mentions here. Flint accidentally creates his own Frankenstein-like monster. The monster quickly becomes attached to Flint, and Flint has to learn to live with his new quote-unquote son. And then that's the second, but I don't know why these are flipped, because that's actually the second episode, which mentions it first, and that's the first episode. But basically he creates this monster where, like, because they're watching this movie in class, basically, and this movie has, like, a mad scientist, and he's all trying to prove, like, oh, that's just movie science, like, that doesn't actually work in real science. He says, all you do is just throw this together, throw that together, and then you wait for a bolt of lightning to just come down and strike, and then it works. And it actually works, though. So, like, as he's making fun of it, it actually works. So he's like, oh, well, shit. So he basically ends up creating this monster, and there's some funny jokes in this one too, like, because I was wondering, like, where the hell does he get a brain for this monster? And he ends up opening the shelf, and he has a whole bunch of brains for some reason, and even she's like, why do you have so many brains? Where did you get them? He's like, oh, I'm a member of a monthly brain, or something like that, basically like a loot crate almost, where they just send him a brain every month. And I was just like, okay. I mean, that was kind of funny, but I was just like, it's weird. But he ends up creating this monster, and you know that like this monster's not like actually like scary or intimidating, but he's like a monster who like thinks of him as his father, and he's kind of like weird. Like, he'll kind of like yell at people and freak out because he's a monster. But like eventually the town like sees him and tries to start killing him. Like, this one is definitely more of a boring episode than the last one. I mean, the last one was kind of boring too, but this one's even more boring. And the town just tries to you know, kill him, and he ends up creating a teleporter, which he also mocks, again, is movie science. It couldn't be made in real life. And then he just uses the surroundings around him to make a teleporter, and he's like, oh, well, that actually worked, okay. And so he just teleports him away, where he meets Frankenstein's bride, and it ends up dating her. So I was like, okay, that's weird, but all right. And then that's where the episode ends. So, man, I'm actually getting kind of cold out here. It's actually kind of cold out here. So I'm gonna wrap this up. But this was. You ever go, like, whenever you were a kid? Did you ever go, like, to go get a shot or something, or go get, you know, something removed or something where you know, like, it's probably gonna be painful, and then like when it gets done, you're kind of like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but it was still bad. You know, that's what this is. Like, I mean, it's not as, like, when I picked this up, I was like, man, this is gonna be the shittiest thing I've ever seen. And it wasn't good, like, but it wasn't that bad either. The only good thing about this is that it comes with 2 Hotel Transylvania shorts, one being a short for the movie, and the other being a full episode from the new TV series that's coming out. And so I saw this one. I haven't seen this one yet, and I'm really excited to. But that's the only good thing about this, is that it actually fucking comes with those. And those are, anyone who hasn't seen Hotel Transylvania, please watch it. It's directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, who's the same guy who made Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory. It's really fucking good, so go watch it. It's awesome. And it's great to watch it around this time of the year, around Halloween anyway. So, but yeah, this was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the Swallow-een Fall Spooktacular. It's really fucking shitty. I really don't recommend go picking it up. But I mean, if you want like a Cartoon Network collection like I do, and like you want something to just cringe through on Halloween, this is not a bad thing for that. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go inside because it's really fucking cold out here. This was a bad idea. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.